Did I talk too much?
Should have
Why
handled
can't I
that
just
better?
let it go?
I wish I would stop.
I was thinking so much. Did I talk too much? I wish I would stop. Let it go.
Take a breath. You're not alone. Let's talk about what's going on.
Counseling helps you sort through the noise with qualified professionals, and online therapy makes it convenient. See if it's for you. Visit betterhelp.com/randompodcast for 10% off your first month of online therapy and let life feel better.
Raise your hand if you want your nails to look perfect all the time. Me too. I'm Sarah Gibson-Tuttle, the founder of Olive & June, and this is exactly why we created the Gel Mani system. We wanted to make it possible for everyone everywhere to give themselves a beautiful manicure at home with our tools and our gel polish that lasts up to 21 days. Each manicure with our system comes out to just $2. That's right, $2. No more $60, $70, $80 salon trips that take hours. Now you can paint your nails on your time and love them more than ever. And by the way, when people ask you where you got your nails done, you're going to proudly brag that you did them yourself. And here's a little something extra. Head over to oliveandjune.com and get 20% off your first Gel Mani system with code DIYGEL20. That's code DIYGEL20 for 20% off your first Mani system at oliveandjune.com/DIYGEL20.
The kettle's boiled, Vic.
Great. Perfect timing. Just a dash of milk for me, please, mate.
Here you go. Shall we get started then?
Have you ever woken up on a Sunday morning and said, I'm never drinking again, and then found yourself waving $50 at a barman by happy hour?
Are you wondering why everyone else can stop at 1 while you head to a dodgy after-party with a weird bloke called Disco Dave? If so, it might be time to take a deeper look at your relationship with your reliable social crutch, alcohol.
On each episode, we'll investigate our own dysfunctional dealings with booze and find out if it's possible to stop this deeply ingrained habit before things get too messy.
Yep, we're going to open up a shame shed of humiliating drinking stories to help you understand why waking up from a booze coma each weekend with a kebab sticking out of your top pocket might actually be negatively impacting your health.
Hamish and I are here to delve into what it's like being sober, an unwanted warts and all look into why giving up those cheeky pints or putting down those mummy wines will make you feel happier, help your anxiety and mental health, and turn you into the most sparkly, authentic version of you.
Won't that mean I become boring though, Vic?
Well, Hamish, we'll just have to wait and see. I'm Victoria Vanstone.
I'm Hamish Adams-Cairns.
And this is Sober Awkward. I want to start today, Hamish, by asking you a question. Have you ever dreaded something and then done it and realised it was amazing?
I could name
not sex for the
loads
first
of
time.
things.
Let's not go down that road, because you've dreaded
I still
that.
dread that.
You still dread that, especially when you're married. You dread it, don't you? You just do it because it's like a chore. It's like doing the dishwasher, isn't it? I'll do it tonight, and then I don't have to do it tomorrow.
That's it. I just think of anything else. I just take myself to my happy mental place and endure it.
Yeah.
I daydream of washing the dishes whilst doing it. That's really what's going on.
Yeah. No, really though.
So no, I'll take sex off the list, as you've called that out.
Yes.
Now I feel embarrassed.
Yep.
Skydiving. Wow. I've always been terrified of heights and thought, well, skydiving is the worst thing in the world for that. Actually, what I discovered is skydiving is really fun. And I loved it. Would I do it again now I'm a dad? No.
That's what that was going to be my
Glad I've done it.
question.
Tick the
Yeah.
box.
I would probably have done it before I had children. I wouldn't do it now.
Yes. Every time I've ever been talked into eating something that on paper is horrible, it's never been as bad as I thought. Case in point, snails.
Yes.
The first time I ate them, I was like, actually, these are delicious, because obviously you can't taste them. You can just taste the garlic butter. But I actually had one recently. I was like, oh, it is a bit bogey.
Yes.
But the first time I dreaded it and it was great. But yeah, eating horrible stuff. Whenever you're dared to eat something horrible, it's usually actually okay.
Yep.
Ice baths. Don't like the cold. Thought I'd hate it. And then a normal job. That is probably the most, probably the number one. Getting a normal job I have put off for 18 I left school, 21 I left uni, so 14 years I ran away from getting a normal job because I dreaded it and thought I'd hate it. And then I got one and actually really like it.
That is actually a huge surprise, because I was worried about you there for a moment. For those of you that have just started listening to the podcast, Hamish is what would you call yourself, a failed actor?
I mean, not the word that I would use. was no, I was going to go successful tech salesman. But sure, we could go glass half empty.
Okay, yeah.
That's it. No, I tell you the way that I frame it, because we actually spoke about this recently in an episode, didn't we? The way that I frame my years as a comic and an actor and a presenter is that none of those were failed years. What they were mastering different forms of communication that I now use for the podcast or in my tech job.
Okay, good. Definitely glass half full. Well done, Hamish. I like
Glass half full.
Yeah.
There you
Whereas
go.
the pessimist here would have just called you a failed actor.
Yes. Well, like you did. Thank you for not keeping that to yourself.
That's really funny. You can call me failed.
What about you?
I'm just a failed person. Like, I wasn't just failed in one area, Hamish. So I don't mind if you. I'm just generally a failure in everything that I've ever done before now. So I don't mind if you call me a failure, because at least we've come back from it.
Both of us have had a million different jobs.
Yes.
But are we saying that you failed as a bar owner? You failed as a jewellery saleswoman?
Yes.
Am I calling you a failed author and a failed podcaster? Do we go up to present?
Well,
or do we leave
because I
those?
think that's kind of what we're going to chat about. Is that, isn't it? Is that in sobriety that we're not so much failures, which is why we continue to have an enthusiasm for it.
Yeah, I see where we're going with this.
Yeah.
Okay, so what about you? Things that you've dreaded and then done and realised it was amazing.
Mine aren't quite as poetic as yours. Mine was just like pickled onions straight from the jar. I expected heartburn and got heaven. I love pickled onions, and I always thought I'd hate them.
Who was forcing you to eat
Dan.
that? Why did you buy that?
I can tell you straight away.
Fine.
My brother-in-law, Dan, eats pickled onions on Christmas Day. And John, has baked beans with Christmas dinner. So there's these weird traditions that people bring out at Christmas, and one of them is pickled onions. So yes, I thought I'd hate pickled onions from the jar, but it's Christmas. What can you do? I've got to eat a pickled onion. I always thought that things like lying on the floor and staring at the ceiling would be boring, but I actually find that sort of thing surprisingly enjoyable now. I think when you're running after 3 kids, it feels like hectic all the time. So pointless things are basically like free therapy for me now. So the less that's going on around me.
Staring at the ceiling,
yes,
pre-kids is pointless.
Yeah.
Lying on the floor and staring at the ceiling post-kids with no kids around. Some of the happiest times of your life.
Yeah, it's perfect. Yeah, it's the best. Yeah. It's a bit of a strange way to start the episode, I know, Hamish, but the reason I'm asking you this is because sometimes stuff happens, like sobriety, for example, and you go in, I know I did, thinking that it was going to be absolutely awful, and then you do it and you realise it's the best. But the problem is sometimes the fear of it puts people off, or you start, feel good at first, and then it gets a bit hard and you lose your enthusiasm and start drinking again. I just wanted to quickly tell you before we dig into this episode, Hamish, that there's a quote that I respond with. You've probably seen me write it actually on Cuppa or on any of our emails. I write it about 5 times a day. It's either to messages or comments. I get people emailing me on Instagram to say, I've just started sobriety. I'm on day 1. I'm listening to your podcast and I'm feeling really, really nervous. Can you guess what my response is to them?
Is it put your big girl pants on and sort yourself out, you big tosser?
No, it's not that.
Is it stop messaging me, mummy?
Neither of those. What I do say to every single person is try to look forward to this because it's going to be the best thing you will ever do. I say that not only because I mean it, because that is my experience. Sobriety changed my life, and even though it ebbs and flows, I maintain my enthusiasm for it, no matter if it's a good day or a bad day. And that can feel sometimes really hard to do. So today, we're going to talk a bit about enthusiasm.
The last time I felt enthusiastic, truly, was when I found a fibre in my jeans last week.
Oh, yeah. Score. I think I'm a bit too over-enthusiastic about weird stuff. I punched the sky yesterday, hey, when I saw another season of Botched was coming out. Have you watched Botched?
No,
oh, God,
never heard of
it's
it.
So good. When someone comes on and they're having a nose job, they'll write a comment underneath with their name. It'll be like Sarah. And then underneath, they'll write pig nose. It's really funny, actually. Anyway, I'm very excitable around small dogs, and going to bed at about 8:30 is kind of the pinnacle of excitement for me now. It's sad, really, isn't it?
Oh,
We're not selling sober life, are we? Which is why I think I wanted to do this episode. Today, we're going to make sobriety look less like a beige cardigan and more like a sequin jacket.
That is not an easy task, particularly given the fact that we both big up elderflower cordial, Scrabble games, weighted blankets, that kind of thing. We're not really helping sobriety's reputations. It really is enough to put anyone off who's sitting on the fence wondering if sober life is the right path for them.
Yeah, but here's the thing. So many people avoid sobriety because they think it's boring, like really boring. They think there's no buzz, no party, no fun. And today we want to flip that on its head and show you why sober life is actually worth getting excited about.
All right, let's be honest. The booze industry has been flogging us enthusiasm in a bottle since the dawn of time. Champagne equals celebration. Beer is mateship. Wine, sophistication. Shots, chaos you'll regret in the morning. The entire marketing machine screams, without booze, life is beige.
Yeah. And the stats back it up. Surveys show around 60% of heavy drinkers genuinely believe their social life would collapse completely without booze. And 40% of people considering quitting say their biggest fear is losing fun. Basically, they imagine sobriety is dull. No mates, no weird adventures after shots of absinthe, no lads' nights, just quiet mugs of herbal tea and boring walks in which you talk about mortgages and flower arranging. Sounds quite fun to me.
That kind of is it. And to be fair, that arrangement you made for Judy's 60th was sublime.
Yeah, thank you. The orchids and roses, who knew? What a stunning mix, Hamish. It was pretty bloody gorgeous. Anyway, when I was drinking, I couldn't picture myself as one of those boring sober twits. Frilly blouse, bouffant hair, sipping tea, talking about bird watching. That isn't what we are.
Why
Your hair
do
is a
we
bit
think
bouffant.
that... Why do we think that sober people dress dull?
Yeah, they've all got bouffant
frilly
hair.
blouse and bouffant hair.
All of them.
It's got nothing to do with sobriety.
Yes,
like
it has.
dressing in
They've
cardigans.
all got bouffant hair and cardigans. We know it.
I definitely thought they were dull. I don't think I thought they dressed like grandparents.
They all do, Hamish. It's what happens when you go sober. You have to go to the second-hand shop and buy a grey suit, get your hair done bouffant. This is the future for everybody out there. Wear a frilly blouse with a cardigan over the top and talk about bird watching. That is it.
And the guys get like a suit jacket that's 2 or 3 sizes too big and cover the shoulders and dandruff.
Yeah.
and then eat what are those really old school mints?
Oh God,
Murray mints.
Yes, Murray mints.
You have like a little tin that rattles around in your suit jacket pocket of Murray mints.
Yeah, or in the middle of the car that you open up on a long journey and you suck on the sweet like a travel sweet.
Yeah,
yes,
those sugar dusty travel sweets.
I'm all for buying stuff at second-hand shops, but there was a story that my sister told me years ago, Hamish. All I'm going to say is she bought a pair of trousers, a pair of jeans, and she didn't try them on. She took them home, she tried them on, and then she saw the crust. That's all I'm saying. So I've kind of been put off going to second-hand shops, which I actually used to really enjoy. But the crust story was too much for me. I don't want to put...
God.
I don't want to put
The
anyone else
crust.
off going second-hand shopping, though. But sometimes just check the crotch area.
Yeah.
Oh, is that too
Did
much?
she keep the jeans?
Yeah, she kept them, scraped it off with one of those window cleaner things. Chipped it off.
Yeah, nothing a teaspoon can't fix.
And a bloody blowtorch.
And you can't wash jeans because they lose their shape, so you just got to deal with it.
Yeah, you just got
to spread deodorant.
Yeah, you just got to chip it off bit by bit.
What a lovely thought.
Oh,
It's
God.
9 in the morning.
Yeah.
Just if you are thinking, when do they record this?
9 in the morning on a Friday morning. How lovely. Oh dear. I think sober people, before I was one myself, felt very alien to me. I thought they belonged to some dusty Edwardian period drama. Pretty much what we're describing, isn't it? Wearing merkins, Hamish. We probably all wore... That person with those jeans probably should have worn a merkin. I just couldn't picture a sober person as a modern, sociable or remotely normal person. In my head, they were just fuddy-duddies who lived for train spotting and antiques fairs. How did you picture a sober person before you were one, Hamish?
Honestly, I didn't know any sober people. Other than you, I met, just before I went sober. I don't think I've ever come across one in my whole life. I certainly presumed that they were all ex-addicts and they had these dark stories from their past, mental health issues and things that we couldn't really talk about with them because they were shrouded in darkness and shame.
You're pretty much describing me there.
yeah, exactly. You are my example of this.
Yes.
Maybe broken people, and that's why they had to get sober. I had no idea that sober curiosity was a thing, or that anyone could choose to go sober just because they wanted to, because it was healthier and made them happier. I thought you had to become sober because you had a problem.
Yeah.
I did not think people that chose it existed.
It's really clear there how messed up that image of an alcoholic is in our society, isn't it? The word alcoholic and the image that conjures up in your brain. It's so extreme and so sad and so depressing and so dark. Whereas, of course, that isn't the case at all, is it? Overdrinkers are you and I and everybody else that I know. It's not that extreme. So it's really hard to give up when you're not like that, isn't it? It's really kind of difficult to identify. For most of us, giving up the thing we're convinced makes us feel fun is social suicide. So we think. And forever without fun, well, no one's queuing up for that.
So today's episode is for anyone that is sitting on the fence about sobriety. Like wobbling there, you got one leg in the pub, the other leg's in a yoga class.
Yeah.
We're going to sell you the sober life. And we say sell, but this is free. Actually, you're going to make money from it. It's like a reverse sale. So by the end of the episode, you're going to be shouting, right, fuck it. That's it. I'm giving it a crack.
Yeah. And for those of you that are already sober, well, think of this as your chance to dust off the cobwebs, shove a bit of sparkle back into your sober life, and maybe even remember why you started in the first place. Time to get enthusiastic again. And yes, we promise to make it sound more fun than a maple syrup kale smoothie. I know we need to work on making it a bit more bright and shiny than our favourite health drinks, but yes, that does sound quite yummy.
I think I know the answer to this, but were you enthusiastic about sobriety when you started it?
When I first quit, I wasn't exactly throwing my arms in the air shouting, yippee, lemon squash forever. Honestly, I was terrified. I thought my personality would shrivel up like a raisin. Enthusiasm came later. Once I realised life didn't shrink, it expanded.
I love it. Sobriety, an expanded life, makes it sound quite enticing. And it is true, but it's hard to see that until you actually begin doing it. I think in regards to my enthusiasm around it, I was coming at it from more of a different angle, really. I was your pretty average drinker. So when I quit, I thought, yeah, all right, I'll do it for a year as a bit of a challenge, and then I'll head straight back to the old me. Did I feel ecstatic about it? No, definitely not. I didn't have a marching band waiting to congratulate me like when I completed it. It was more like, all right, this is a bit different, but it could be good different. So I think my enthusiasm sort of began to creep in once I began to see the benefits.
Just reminded me there. So one of the messages we get a lot is people are scared they're going to miss out the sort of pre-booze phase, like getting ready with their friends and getting excited and having enthusiasm about going out for a night, and that not knowing what's going to happen or how the night's going to unfold. But of course, you can still do that. Usually that's before the drinks have even started, that enthusiasm. And it's how to keep that. Like when you go there with your friends and everyone's getting ready and putting their makeup on and getting changed and showing each other your outfits. And that is a really beautiful kind of moment with your mates.
I tell you what I would say on that point is actually the pre-drinks or the pre-night excitement, I would say, is still exactly the same as a sober person. Because actually your friends aren't drunk then.
No.
So you're still excited to go out, like you say, showing each other your clothes or like blaring music in the car on the way to the thing. So in a way, like you guys are still in the same mental space at that stage.
Yep.
You're still excited to go out. You're still like, I just drink non-alcoholic beer then and still like dance around silly and, look forward to the night. And then it's not until later in the night where they go off in one direction to drunk and you stay on your path, which is sober, that you can feel like you're in different places.
Yeah.
So actually, the earlier the night, the more fun before things start going a bit weird. So I say, the pre-drinks are still wicked. I still love all of that.
I do too. I actually look forward now, whereas before, like in the end of my drinking days, I didn't look forward to those times because I knew where the night was going to end up. In fact, I knew where the morning the next day was going to end up, which was me in bed with anxiety pulsing around my body. And I used to ended up dreading going out completely. I hated going out because I didn't trust myself around alcohol. And I knew that I was always going to be the drunkest person in the room, no matter what. So now I can go to those events and people getting ready and continue the night. And I can just look forward to it, which is a huge change. That's where my enthusiasm has shifted, is that I can say yes to an invite on Facebook that somebody's sent me, and all I do is have excitement about that event now, which is a massive change for me compared to me dreading every single social event in my entire life. So yeah, that's sobriety right there.
The final point I wanted to make is to do with dopamine. Alcohol gives you dopamine, releases dopamine in you. And if you do it often enough, you'll basically become reliant on it.
I definitely think the brain gets a bit lazy with booze. It relies on alcohol to deliver the dopamine. When you stop, your brain sort of sulks like a toddler without an iPad. That's why enthusiasm feels out of reach at the start. Your chemistry is literally working against you. But the good news is brains are adaptable. Neuroplasticity means that your dopamine pathways can rewire and you will find joy again. It just takes time. Right. We're going to play a game now, Haim. I'm going to start by asking you, what were the reasons why you were not going to go sober? And then we'll go over the answers again and see if that actually happened. So, Haim, what were the reasons as a drinker to never stop drinking?
So the first one is, well, everyone else is doing it and has always done it for as long as I can think of. So how bad can it actually be? My second was that I have millions of great stories and memories and friendships that were born out of boozy nights. So if I stop, would I lose all of those?
Yeah.
Time. It's always vanishing. The commute, the errands, the work functions, the meetings, selling your car. Unless you sell your car with Carvana. Get a real offer in minutes. Get it picked up from your door. Get paid on the spot. So fast, you'll wonder what the catch is. There isn't one. We just respect you and your time. Oh, you're still here? Move along now. Enjoy your day. Sell your car today.
Carvana.
Pickup fees may apply.
Did I talk too much?
Should have
Why
handled
can't I
that
just
better.
let it go?
I wish I would stop.
I was thinking so much.
Take a breath. You're not alone. Counseling helps you sort through the noise with qualified professionals. Get matched with a therapist online based on your unique needs and get help with everyday struggles like anxiety or managing tough emotions.
Visit betterhelp.com/random podcast for 10% off your first month of online therapy and let life feel better.
The third one is that drinking, particularly for me that didn't have a problem with it, drinking is fun. So surely without drinking, life is not fun.
Good point.
I also felt that drinking made me feel more confident. It made me felt more sexy. It made me feel more careless. Those are all nice feelings, and I wasn't sure if I'd be able to access those feelings to the same degree without booze. And finally, if I'm not that heavy a drinker anyway, how much can it really be negatively impacting my life?
Yeah. They're very relatable, Haim. I think for me, they're a little bit more extreme because my drinking had caused such turmoil in my life. I did think that my life would be over if I quit drinking. I thought that my friends would never speak to me again, that I had nothing going for me if I didn't have alcohol, because it was my entire identity, of course, that I would have too much time on my hands, that I wouldn't have anything to talk about or plan. A lot of time was spent organising the drinks. And that my family would be disappointed in me, which was quite a major one. In fact, I didn't tell them for 18 months that I'd given up drinking at all because I was so scared of their reaction. But if we go over those quickly, Hamish, so between us, we've got like 10 points there. Did any of those things actually happen? I don't think they did. I don't think either of those things happened to either of us. My parents weren't disappointed with me. My life wasn't over. There was so much more time to do other stuff. What do you reckon?
I totally agree. If I look back through mine, I don't think any of them have come true.
No.
I've surprised myself with a few of them. I've surprised myself that life is not dull and you can still do almost exactly the same shit you did before, just without alcohol. It takes a bit of work to still feel confident, sexy and careless without booze, but you can certainly access it. It just might take a bit of time and effort. I would say the benefits of being sober for me are exactly the same as the benefits of being sober for you, even though you're a more extreme drinker than me.
Yeah.
You know, like whether or not you're a little drinker or a moderate drinker or a heavy drinker, the wins are still the same in sobriety.
Yeah, and I think what comes with those wins is the pride that you are living a life without alcohol. So every small win is almost like a rocket going up its arse and going, well, I've achieved that now, and look what I can do. And that makes even the small things like getting ready with your friends and not having a drink, it makes that really, really special because you've been genuine, you've been authentic, and you've walked away with your head held high. So actually our lives didn't stop, Hamish, did they? I feel for me, mine certainly just started.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, sobriety doesn't remove all the fun in your life. It redefines it.
Yes. And I know I feel happier when I'm feeling enthusiastic and looking forward. But I do wonder, is that really the case? Does enthusiasm actually make life better?
Research suggests that it does. In fact, studies reveal that enthusiastic people can live up to 15% longer, have a lower risk of dying from all causes, and even keep their hearts healthier. So it's not just about feeling good. Enthusiasm is basically a free, natural health boost. Think of it as the new kale, only louder, sillier, and maybe with jazz hands.
I'm not sure kale has jazz hands anyway. So let's talk about mindset.
If you're sitting on the fence about sobriety, the biggest thing to wrestle with isn't your Friday night plans. It's your mindset. Most average drinkers don't even see sobriety as an option. I certainly didn't. It feels like something reserved for the other people, the ones with the empty bottles rattling under the sofa and family members staging interventions. If that's not you, your brain tells you you're totally fine. You don't need sobriety. And in fact, you'd rather avoid it.
But here's the trick. Sobriety doesn't have to be about loss. It can be about gain. And the shift comes when you stop asking, what will I miss? And start asking, what could I gain?
Now, obviously, that sounds easier said than done, especially if you're British, because we tend to lean into negative bias. The moan takes precedence over the cheer, especially if you're in bed, hungover, sipping out of a can of Lucozade. It's really hard to be enthusiastic about anything when you're in that situation.
Okay, so let's try and replace what the shitty bit about sobriety might be and try and trick our brains into tuning into the possibilities.
We have a few ways, some sneaky ways we can fight back against the clever way booze makes us believe it's the answer to everything.
Okay, here's a few ways to train your brain. First of all, flip the narrative. Instead of thinking I'll be boring without booze, try maybe I'll actually be interesting without repeating the same drunk stories 300 times.
Treat it as an experiment to make it more fun and less committal. You don't have to marry sobriety forever. You can just date it for 30 or 90 days and see how it feels. That really does take the pressure off.
Yeah, totally. Just see how it goes. Spot the lies. Alcohol tells you it's fun, relaxing, glamorous, but look closer. Hangovers, regret, anxiety, not so glamorous.
Play it forward. Picture tomorrow morning. Do you want to wake up clear-headed and smug, or hugging the toilet and Googling best greasy bacon roll near me?
I still do that though. I do like a nice greasy bacon roll.
Greasy bacon rolls are a good time.
Yeah, especially on a Sunday morning. Break it down. What is alcohol? Remind yourselves of the facts. We do this all the time, Hamish. And that was one of the things that really made you strong in your sobriety, wasn't it? Was educating yourself about the dangers and the harm that alcohol does to your body. And ask yourself why you want to keep putting that in your lovely gob.
Vessel?
Your lovely vessel that isn't a glass, yes.
Yeah. Vessel is more poetic than gob, isn't it?
Yeah, gob. No, I quite like gob. There's a horrible term for a blowjob, for a gob job or something, isn't it?
Oh, gobbing.
Gobbing off. Oh, yeah.
Oh, gobbing off. Did you gob off?
Oh, we got gobbed off in the park.
Wow. Why do we stop using that kind of teenage
it's great,
language
actually.
for sexual acts
Yeah,
when
gobbled
we
off.
get to like married? It wasn't like, did you gob off your husband last night? It was his birthday.
Knocked him off.
I got wonderful finger banging last night. It was the anniversary.
Oh, wait, that might be too much, Haim. I think the listener having a lovely walk on the beach there, out in the sunshine, and there you are, talking about finger banging. I banged my finger yesterday. It really hurt.
I would like to add one final one here, which is to say that Vic and I have both been doing this for a while, and we have met hundreds, if not thousands, of sober people online and in person. And both of us are yet to meet anyone that has tried it and regretted it. Not one.
No, not one.
Zero.
Not one.
Never.
I wonder how many thousand people we've heard from. How many thousands, Hamish? And I always respond the same thing. Remember I said at the beginning of the episode, I say, this is going to be the best thing you ever do. And now I get emails from those people years later after they've been listening to the podcast for 4 years. And they always say, you're right. This is the best thing I've ever done. And I remember Rob Lowe, he's always commented on Instagram saying, you know, this is the best gift you will ever give yourself. It sounds like a really cheesy, sober term, but it's absolutely true. I totally agree with it. I think once your brain clicks from I can't to maybe I can, your mindset is halfway there. It's not about becoming a saint or giving up joy. It's about realizing joy can actually be found outside of the wine glass.
Now, I know if you're listening to this and you're a drinker, this all seems hard to imagine. It's like having a close friend or a partner that listens and serves your needs and comforts you and solves all your worries. That's what alcohol is to many of us.
One of the sneakiest things about booze is how it tricks you into thinking you're in love with it. It's like a toxic ex who makes you believe you'll never find anyone better. Alcohol messes with the reward system in your brain. Every time you drink, it drops a little dopamine bomb and your brain goes, oh, yes, please, more of that. Before you know it, you've convinced yourself that a glass of Sauv Blanc or a pint of lager is your soulmate.
But, spoiler alert, it's a scam. It's not love, it's lust. Well, it's not even really that. It's just chemistry. The brain's been hijacked to crave what hurts it. That's why you can sit there hungover, shaking, swearing you'll never touch the stuff again. And then by 6 p.m, you're back at the fridge thinking, maybe just one? It's not weakness, it's wiring.
I often tell people that, Haim, who are suffering from shame about drinking. You know, they're like, oh, why do I keep doing this to myself? And I feel so bad and I'm letting everybody down. But it's part of it is scientific. Alcohol is a drug that is physically addictive, that is making you want more. It's not really your fault, but it is your responsibility perhaps to try and rewire that thought. And that is possible. That's what we're saying. Booze makes us feel like we want it, even when every rational part of us knows it's stealing our sleep, our self-respect, and even our Sundays. That's addiction at work. The trick is realizing that the love affair was a one-sided thing after all. Booze never really loved you back. Actually, it's an asshole. The unreliable, manipulative boyfriend who turns up late, spends all your money, doesn't put the toilet seat down, then whispers, I love you, while texting their ex. Yes, that happens all the time.
If you can reframe booze in your head for what it really is, a dodgy villain robbing you blind, instead of romanticising it as the sexy lead in your life story, then you've got half a chance. That's when you can start getting curious, even excited about what comes after it. When did you start getting excited about all of this, Vic?
The first moment I got excited about sobriety was in a therapy session. I hadn't decided to give up booze forever at that point, and it was when she said, you know, Vic, you don't have to drink. I was like, what? No one's ever said that to me before. I just remember this kind of wave of euphoria coming over me because I realized I never, ever had to drink again. And it was such a bloody relief. And I thought, gosh, what am I going to do now? I can do whatever I want. And it's not going to involve me being hungover in bed and having terrible anxiety. And it was an absolutely brilliant moment. The next time, quite soon after that, was when I was at home with John and I'd already kind of decided to give up drinking forever. And we were at home on a Saturday and I said to John, the kids were there playing around in the background. And I said to John, what shall we do tomorrow? This is in my book, 1,000 Wasted Sundays. I won't give too much away, but what shall we do tomorrow on a Saturday night was something I had never, ever said. Because my plan every Sunday was to be in bed because I was hungover. This still makes me cry, Hamish, even when I'm talking about it.
That's sweet.
Oh,
yeah, I like
God.
it.
I've gone. But it's true. It's 100% true, and I still get upset when I think about, you can't help thinking about all the time you wasted, I cannot believe that I used to plan a whole day in bed on a Sunday because I was so ill from drinking. Yet I didn't see that was a problem for so many years. And I'm sure there's people out there, I'm sorry for getting emotional, but just to say, what are we doing tomorrow on a Sunday morning was so huge for me. And I remember John looking at me and just saying, you've done it. I was like, God, fucking hell, I really have, haven't I? I'm not drinking. I'm not planning to be hungover. And it was a real turnaround point for me, that. So yeah, sorry for getting emotional there, but that's I don't think I've spoken about that actually before, have I?
I don't think so.
I don't think
but I love how those moments come in like really seemingly innocuous.
Yes.
Like a completely throwaway question, like what should we do tomorrow?
Yeah.
And the impact of it is enormous.
Yeah.
When you realise, actually, I've never asked that question on a Saturday. I think it's quite beautiful.
Yeah, I hadn't, which is crazy, really, isn't it? It's silly. It does make you feel a bit silly too sometimes. And I can imagine that's where shame bubbles up for a lot of people too, is because, gosh, God, it was there all the time. I just didn't choose to step into it, which is frustrating. The friendships, the presence, the health, the joy, but not always the big things either, as I just said. Small little joys are what make me excited now. And it's just a general feeling of being more content. I'm not saying it's perfect all the time, but I do have a baseline of contentment. I definitely feel proud daily, and that's where I find my enthusiasm. It's an inner feeling of, I did this. I chose to ditch the loser boyfriend. I chose to find out who I really am. And for me, that still feels brave. Even if I do say so myself, I created this life I have now, and I feel very empowered by sobriety. Nowadays, I'm enthused by the sobriety of others, quite honestly. I love it when we hear from people in early sobriety. As I said, I always say the same thing. This will be the best thing you ever do. And I still believe that. And I'm still so confident in that statement. I know it can be harder to stay enthusiastic about sobriety if you've never really felt you had a problem. Without that sense of being trapped, there isn't the same rush of freedom when you stop. For me, sobriety felt like a total escape, like being let out of prison. So it was easy to run towards it and feel amazing. But if there wasn't much of a struggle to begin with, I imagine it's easier to be tempted back in.
I am interested to know though, Vic, you're like 7 years into this and your enthusiasm and like passion for sobriety seems to be unwavering. Have there ever been ups and downs, or have you just sort of maintained this 9 out of 10 enthusiasm since day one?
Yeah, it's an easy question, really. I enjoy sobriety more than I ever enjoyed drinking. These days, I like myself. I trust myself more than ever. And I'm 100% sure it's the right choice for me and for my family, actually. It all comes back to my why, which we always bang on about, don't we? Why we considered sobriety in the first place. Drinking wasn't working for me then, and it won't work for me now. I know that. I can still remember that anxiety. And there's no way I'd ever choose to put that cloud over my head again. Knowing I'll never drink again is what keeps me enthusiastic.
So if you're sitting there wondering whether life without alcohol is worth it, let us tell you this. It absolutely is. Because what you think alcohol gives you, confidence, connection, comfort, was already inside you. It was just waiting to be uncovered. Booze just convinced you it was the source of your joy, when really it was robbing you blind, stealing your mornings, your self-respect, and your peace of mind. Sobriety isn't about losing something. It's about finally seeing yourself clearly, liking that person that you find, and knowing that you never need to drink to be whole. And once you feel that, even if just for a moment, you'll realise that it isn't boring and it isn't bleak. It's actually freeing. It's pride. It's the life you were always meant to live, and it's all yours if you want it. All you need to do is choose a different drink to the one you used to consume.
Oh, I love
That's
that.
it.
You sound very gurish then. That is a very nice speech.
I felt it.
Yeah.
I felt like Tony Robbins. That's how I felt just speaking that.
I need some sort of uplifting music in the background as you speak there. I might add it actually.
Yeah.
I'll add
Can
it
you
in.
add
Yes.
like is it Inception? Like
Yes.
something that Hans Zimmer's done.
Yeah, something that
underneath all
builds. Yeah, I'll add
Or
it in
Lion
the
King.
post-production.
Yeah.
We're not going to sugarcoat it. Sobriety takes work. There's no magic pills or shortcuts, just a bit of effort, honesty, and showing up for yourself every day. That's just what we did, isn't it, Haim? But the good news is everything you need to know is right here in this podcast. I actually got an email from someone today. In fact, we get lots of emails, Haim, don't we, of people starting right at the very beginning. And if anyone asks me, I say, start at the beginning on our very first episode, Alcohol Ain't My Mate. Stick your headphones in, go for a walk every day, and let us walk alongside you, because we've been there and we know how it feels. If you listen to one episode on that walk every day, all the things you need to know are there. It's waiting for you. All the awkward truths, the laughs, probably a few knob jokes and funny jokes, the info that you need. It's not very civilized. It's kind of a weird sober party, but just get in, go in feet first and listen to every single one if you can. I think there's probably over 250, 300 episodes now, isn't there, Haim?
3 years of one a week. That's 150.
Yeah.
And then you and Lucy did it fortnightly.
God,
yeah,
it's a lot,
probably
isn't it?
200 episodes.
Bloody hell.
Too much, really.
Yeah, it's too much. Yeah, too much. If it's enthusiasm and encouragement about sober life you're after, then dig into the Sober Awkward podcast and get some more tools at soberawkward.com. I'm sounding quite professional there. We never normally do that, do we? Give people go and buy something
because
off us.
you usually go www. I'm like, okay, well, that's when you lose your respect.
Yeah, I didn't do it this time.
I'm like, she knows what she's talking about.
Yeah, go to soberawkward.com and buy something from us, or join our Patreon page. That's always a good idea. And give us some money, because that's all we really want, isn't it, Hamish?
That's really what this is all about.
Yeah, this whole podcast.
200 episodes of just trying to milk the listener.
Yeah, just send us money. I'll give you my bank details at the end.
That's it. We'll give you bank details. I'll give you Vic's personal address, so you can just show up. Just whatever you like, just show up.
We can all be enthusiastic together and gob each other off.
If you want a good gobbing, just send us an email and I'll give you Vic's address.
At least we're open about being a cult.
Is it
Usually
weird
it
that we're
takes
saying
time
give
and
us
you have-
money and we'll gob you off, but we're not trying to come across if we're selling our services?
Usually you have to work your way up in the hierarchy before things like that happen. We're just saying, come over, pay us some money and we'll gob you off. Cult done.
How has it got to this? I don't think we've ever offered sexual services in a podcast episode before.
Oh, I have. It's just a different podcast I do.
Oh my God, Vic, I haven't even told you this thing. Okay,
What?
so my boss's boss at work, her husband recently got sober and he started listening to the podcast.
Oh my God.
And the other day I went into the office to show off Romy.
boss's
I'm
boss?
on pat leave, but I thought I'd bring Romy, my boss's boss. And I saw her and she was like, oh, my husband started listening to it. She said, there's a few stories in it that he's told me about the U-bend in the sink. And you remember that story about the U-bend?
You did a shit in the U-bend.
I did a shit in a U-bend in the sink as a prank at school. And now my boss's boss knows that story.
Oh my God, that is awful.
I mean, she's amazing, has a good sense of humour, but that is the sort of story that people that we don't know about us.
Yeah. Oh my God, Haim, we better pull back, hadn't we?
We need to pull right back.
Because you're going to lose
ourselves more often.
Yeah, you're going to lose your job.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I know. Then this is all I've got, and I really am fucked.
Okay. We'll keep finger banging, and we'll take off gobbing off.
Okay. Yeah. Good. That's the line.
Thanks for listening.
Bye.
If you're questioning your relationship with booze, you're struggling to moderate, or your hangovers are causing anxiety, it might be time to reach out for some support.
Yeah, just talk to a mate about how you're feeling, contact a local doctor, find an AA or sobriety group. Vic's got one.
Yeah, just head to www.cuppa.community.
Remember, if you're questioning yourself, it might be time to seek support.
Even though this journey can be awkward, it is definitely worth it. And if you've enjoyed the Sober Awkward podcast, don't forget to review it, rate it, and share it with your mates.
Do they have to share it with their mates?
Yeah, of course they do. I'm not doing this for nothing, Hamish. Bloody hell.
How do they share it?
I don't know, just write it on the...
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever think about switching insurance companies to see if you could save some cash? Progressive makes it easy to see if you could save when you bundle your home and auto policies. Try it at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary, not available in all states.
Hey, I'm Paige DeSorbo, and I'm always thinking about underwear.
I'm Hannah Berner, and I'm also thinking about underwear, but I prefer full coverage. I like to call them my granny panties.
Actually, I never think about underwear. That's the magic of Tommy John.
Same. They're so light and so comfy, and if it's not comfortable, I'm not wearing it.
And the bras, soft, supportive, and actually breathable.
Yes, Lord knows the girls need to breathe. Also, I need my PJs to breathe and be buttery soft and stretchy enough for my dramatic tossing and turning at night. That's why I live in my Tommy John pajamas.
Plus, they're so cute because they fit perfectly.
Put yourself on to Tommy John.
Upgrade your drawer with Tommy John. Save 25% for a limited time at TommyJohn.com/comfort. See site for details.
Skip the gym, not the workout. With Hydro, you get a full-body workout in just 20 minutes, hitting 86% of your muscles in one smooth, low-impact motion. And now there's the new Hydro Arc, Hydro's most advanced rower yet. Arc introduces Hydrometrics, tracking your power, endurance, and precision every time you row, so you can actually see your progress. Go to Hydro.com and use code ROW to get $100 off any Hydro rower, including Arc. That's HYDROW.com, code ROW.
So, as you probably know, my comedy memoir, 1,000 Wasted Sundays, is officially out. All my magnificent fuck-uppery in one awkward hit. If you'd like to get your hands on a copy, it's now available from all good bookstores.
We always say all good bookstores, don't we?
Yeah.
Are there bad bookstores?
No, it's probably ones with moody sellers.
Oh yeah, really depressed librarian folks.
Yes,
okay,
good. So there are probably some, but we're only storing it in the good ones.
It's only made it into the goodies.
You can also get it from all good online retailers. The print version and ebook are out now, and the audiobook will be available in March. I've been writing my memoir for 5 years. It will make you laugh, cry and cringe, and hopefully inspire a few people to reconsider their relationship with booze. If you love the podcast, then I think you'll love the book, even if I do say so myself. Hamish has read it. What did you think?
I feel like I know a little bit too much about you now, to be honest, Vic. Look, I really loved it. It was hilarious and surprisingly moving, but I feel like I've seen you naked in a literary sense.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's worrying.
Yeah. From an emotional point of view, seriously, it wobbled my teeny weeny wooden heart, Vic.
Okay.
My teeny little wooden heart.
Well, his teeny little, his wooden heart is broken. Anyway, so if you do manage to get your filthy mitts on a copy, please do me a favour and head to goodreads.com and give me a review. Doing that will help me get it out there to those that need a bit of sober support. So there you have it. My story, unwanted warts and all. Come and get awkward with me.
Not to be too demanding or anything, but seriously, go and buy it now.
Go and buy it right now.
Yeah, don't just tell your friends, buy it, and then buy your friends one or two.
Yeah, don't give them a copy, buy it, yeah.
And you know what, don't be careful where you store it. If you lose it, you can always buy another 5.
Yeah, buy another one.
Yeah.